Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy BDB, and today I have a video I want to talk about. So what's going on in college football? It is not talking about the Week 11 rankings. I will have that video coming out there shortly. But it's talking about the coaching carousel in college football. If you have not heard, the coaches have been getting fired left and right in college football. They have. Now, if you want to know what the record is for most coaches fired in a single season, it is 61. The year that happened, literally 2024-2025 period, which is more than 40% of all FBS programs. I'm talking head coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, player development coaches, all this and that. Mind you, I just updated this, but I had this information since October 26. Now, if you want to know, from October 26, 12 head coaches have been fired this season, which ties the most head coaches fired in a single season since 2022. And then 10 out of the 12 of the firings happened during the season, which is the most in-season firings in the FBS era since 1978. You want to know what that number has gone up to with head coaches fired in this year? 13. And guess what? Now 11 out of the 13 head coaches fired. It is now it's set new records. It's set new records. 11 out of the 13 head coaches have been fired during the season. 13 head coaches have been fired this year alone. You want to know what those teams are? Auburn fired Hugh Freeze. 15 wins, 19 losses through 3 seasons. Got fired literally today on November 2nd. LSU fired Brian Kelly. He had 34 wins, 14 losses through 4 seasons. He got fired October 26th. Florida fired Billy Napier. 22 wins, 23 losses through 4 seasons. He got fired October 19th. Penn State fired James Franklin. 104 wins, 45 losses through 12 seasons. And he got fired October 12th. Arkansas fired Sam Pittman. 32 wins, 34 losses through 6 seasons. Got fired September 28th. Oklahoma State fired Mike Gundy. 170 wins, 90 losses through 21 seasons. And he got fired September 23rd. UCLA fired Deshaun Foster. Went 5 wins, 10 losses through 2 seasons. And he was fired September 14th. Colorado State fired Jay Norvell. 18 wins, 26 losses through 4 seasons, was fired October 19th. Oregon State fired Trent Bray. 5 wins, 14 losses through 2 seasons, and he was fired October 12th. UAB fired Trent Dilfer. 9 wins, 21 losses through 3 seasons, and he was fired October 12th. And these last 2 were fired before the season. Kent State, they fired Kenny Burns. He had 1 win, 23 losses through 2 seasons. Fired April 15th. And the oldest firing is Stanford. Troy Taylor, 6 wins, 18 losses through 2 seasons, and was fired March 25th. So, 13 head coaches have been fired. 11 out of the 13 have been fired in the season. Now, there are still more coaches to come. There's still more coaches in the hot seat. But here's the problem. My question is this. Are these coaches actually bad? Or are these players just terrible? Because there's a lot of coaches who they are good coaches, but the team just sucks. And there's a lot of coaches who are bad coaches, but they're just on a good team. Or their team is just really, really good. There's still more coaches that are in the hot seat. Like, for example, Dabo Swinney over there in Clemson. He's in a hot seat right now. I think he's in a hot seat. Now, my thing is this. People ask, does it take for a coach to be fired? I say, in my opinion, it takes three things for a head coach to get fired in college football, or just football in general. The first thing is you have to have multiple losing seasons. And I'm not talking where you're going say if there's 12 games, you're going at least 6-6, and then the next year you're going 5-7, and 5-7, 5-7, like you're mid every year. No, that's not it. I'm talking seasons where you're getting at least consecutively 3-4 win seasons. Like you're consecutively losing, right? If you're consecutively losing, that's a good reason to fire you, because you can't win. Second reason, you can't beat the rivals. You can't beat the rivals. You can't win games that you're supposed to win, the big games. If you can't beat your rivals, guess what? People are going to get upset, because guess why? A lot of people, a lot of sports fans, they don't care. They really care about the season, but they mainly care, can we beat the rivals? Like, for example, with Michigan and Ohio State, their rivalry. Say if both teams were 11-0 and they played each other on the last game of the season, they don't care how the season goes. They just care, we want to beat you. Most of those fans, it don't matter. Ohio State's 11-0, Michigan's 0-11, or Michigan's 11-0 and Ohio State's 0-11. All they care about is, will we beat that gosh darn team in red and silver, or will we beat that gosh darn team in blue and yellow? That's all they care about. But if you can't beat them on for example, Ryan Day. Ryan Day was about to get fired from Ohio State because he couldn't beat Michigan. He hasn't beaten Michigan since 2019. But guess what saved his job? Winning the national title. Winning the national title saved Ryan Day's job over there at Ohio State. It saved his job. Same way, and I hate to say it, but James Franklin at Penn State. He couldn't beat Ohio State at all. But guess what kept saving James Franklin's job? He kept getting 9 and 10 plus win seasons. That's what saved him. There's a lot of coaches who they cannot beat their rival to save the life out of them. But guess why they're saved? Because they can at least win something that tells the fans, hey, don't fire me. I've done this. And the last thing, which a lot of people don't understand, it's very important, is your homecoming game. Homecoming games, you don't lose. You shouldn't lose. If you lose your homecoming game, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get gone. Because that's the one thing football fans, students, don't play about, is when it comes to homecoming. Because that's when the stadium, 9 times out of 10, it is the most packed out stadium, is homecoming games. There's 3 games where the stadium is going to be a bona fide sellout. First game of the season, rivalry games, and homecoming game. Those 3 types of games, you're bona fide a sellout crowd. You're bona fide a sellout crowd. And one thing people didn't understand, Shane Beamer over there in South Carolina, Dabo Swinney in Clemson, James Franklin at Penn State, they lost their homecoming games. Guess what? James Franklin got fired after Penn State lost homecoming to Northwestern. Shane Beamer lost homecoming to Alabama. That's going to be a good case to get fired. Dabo lost homecoming to Duke just recently. That's going to be another casing to be fired. If you lose that homecoming game, a lot of fans will be mad because that's when the stadium is 9 times out of 10 most packed. That's just my opinion. I'm not stating facts. These are my opinions. As coach, you can't lose 3 games. The first game of the season, your rivalry game, and homecoming. You can't lose those. And if you do lose those games, you better hope that you have a great winning season, or you better win a title, and that'll secure your job. If you don't do that, goodbye. Goodbye. But that's going to consist this video. So make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll have more videos out there for you.